Hello class, this is a video tutorial on the properties of functions. In this video we will be learning about increasing or decreasing rates or increasing or decreasing functions. The rate of a function refers to the relationship between the y values as the x values increase. A function is increasing if y increases as x increases. A function is decreasing if y decreases as x increases. And a function is stationary if y remains the same as x increases. Here's an example of what we mean. Let's take a look at the x values along here. As the x values continue to increase, what is happening to the y values? Let's take a look at from this point to here, to this point to here. Notice how as x has increased here, y from here has gone up and increased to there. So in this example, this line is always increasing. You've probably seen this in previous math, where this would have a positive gradient, so the line is increasing. Likewise here, we have a function as x is increasing, as x moves along to the right, y is going downwards. So this function is, this function is decreasing. I'll just quickly draw up a function that is stationary. Take a look. Here's my y-axis, x-axis, and here's a function that is neither increasing nor decreasing. There we are. Now, it's very simple on straight lines. Let's take a look now at curves. Here is a cubic. Notice, let me get a marker here. Notice from this point, notice how this part of the curve is going up. The y values are going up as the x values move along this way. So as x increases, the y values are also increasing. So I've highlighted in orange the portion of the graph that is increasing. There will be a point along the top where it's very small, but it would be flat, and that point is a stationary point. And then from that point onwards, as x increases, y is now going downwards. Okay, so that is a decreasing point. Okay, until it reaches this point again. Okay, and that point once again is stationary. It's the curve is turning at that point. And then from that point onwards, as x increases, y is going up, so that is increasing. Here's another example. It's a very quick one. From this point here, well, from the left, as x increases, y is going downwards, that is decreasing. And from this point here, as x increases, y is also increasing. That is a increasing function. Okay, so now let's take a look at some examples of how we can find points where the function is increasing or decreasing. Determine what domains the function, the following graphs are: A, increasing, B, decreasing. So let's take a look. So let's look at the points where this is increasing. Well, this point here where it's turning, that is a stationary point here. And notice from that point, as x is increasing, y is also increasing. Okay, so for this, x is increasing from x to whatever value that might be to positive infinity. So from this point on, the function is always increasing. It's always going up. Now take a look for the decreasing point. Notice how if we start at this point here and move along as x increases, the graph somewhere up here is going downwards. So it is decreasing. It is decreasing from negative infinity until it hits this point here, okay, at x2. Not, oops, should be a curve, sorry. Okay, so it is increasing from x2 onwards, and it is decreasing from negative infinity, so this is decreasing points, from negative infinity to x2. Alright, let's take a look at more examples. I want you to give this a go. At which points are is this graph increasing? Okay, so that's I for increase. Well, let's start here at this endpoint. As x increases, y is also increasing. It's going up until it hits this point there, until it gets to point A. So it'll always be increasing as x increases from negative infinity until it gets to A. Now it's also, take a look, from this point here, that is x is equal to 0. Notice how from that point, if I draw my dot here, as x increases, y is also increasing. So from that point, from x equals 0 to positive infinity, the function is also increasing. So these points here, the function is increasing. B, decreasing. Well, if it's increasing from this point here, well, from point A, as x increases, y is decreasing. So from point A onwards, so from point A until, take a look, until it gets to this point here, until point 0. Point 0. And other than that, that's the only points that this function is decreasing. Let's do two more examples here. Here we have a quartic. Doesn't matter too much what the name is, but let's find points where this is increasing. So, well, let's start from the left, the very left here. So here is negative infinity. As x increases, y is decreasing. It's still decreasing until it gets to this point here. Right? So it's decreasing from, sorry, that's question B. Increase, decrease. It is decreasing from negative infinity until it gets to this point here, which I wanted to be x equaling 0. Okay. Now from this point, x equaling 0, as x increases, y is also increasing until it gets to this point there. That's a stationary point. So it's increasing from 0 until x3. Okay. Now from that point, as x increases, what is happening to y? Well, from that point, the y values are going downwards. Well, it's decreasing then from x3 to x4. That is a union between them. Okay. Now from x4 onwards, so x4 is here, as x increases, what is happening to the y values? Well, they are increasing, it's going up. So that is an increasing point from x4 onwards. So from x4 to positive infinity, that is an increasing function union there. One last question here. Let's find a point where this is increasing. Let's start here on the furthest right. As x increases, what is happening to the function? Let's do it again. As x increases, what is happening to the function? Well, it is literally going downwards. There's nothing stopping it. There's no turning point. So there is no increasing point, which means, well, it's always decreasing. So it's decreasing from negative infinity to positive infinity. So I hope that gave you an insight into increasing and decreasing functions, and the points where functions may increase or decrease. See you in the next video. Best of luck.